Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. My name is Mike and today we're going to take a look at how you tune the damping. We're going to start here with a untuned B-Class Nissan GTR. It's an all-wheel drive car, and what you can use damping for, what it's used specifically, well, what it's used mostly for is turn in. I mean, there is some bleed into mid corner and stuff like that, but damping specifically controls turn in. And when you're dealing with these all-wheel drive cars a lot, you have some understeer. So the damping is one way that you can combat understeer. So we're going to talk about the damping, how you set your damping, and I'm also going to show you guys that there is a typo in game, so that if you're actually reading the descriptions, trying to figure it out for yourself, and you're reading the descriptions, they're just going to fuck you all up because they're wrong. So stick around and we'll get into all that. First things first, what we need to do is make sure that our damping is tunable. And so we have tunable tires, gears are untunable, alignment is untunable, anti-roll bar, springs, damping, aero, brakes, and differential. Nothing's tunable in this car, so we're going to have to throw on a suspension that lets you tune that stuff. Race suspension will unlock springs, damper, and alignment tuning. So that's it. That's the only thing we're going to throw in this car. The only thing we care about is being able to tune damping. So there we go, throwing on the damping. Now what we're going to do is, this is the hardest part when you're tuning any car, is you need to diagnose the issues. It's definitely the hardest part by far. So we're going to take this car, I'm going to run some laps. I'm not going to show you every lap, but I'm going to do about 15 laps because that's how many it takes for anybody really to get used to a car, the way a car drives. You need to put enough time in seat to really drive the car before you can start diagnosing what the issues are. It could be you. If you don't have enough time in car, you don't know what the issue is. So I'm going to put in the proper time. I'm not going to make you watch all of that, but I'll give you some highlights. We'll diagnose the issues, and then we'll meet back here and I'll talk about how we fix all that stuff through the damping menu. Now, if you're having this issue on your PC or Xbox, whatever, what you need to do is press start, press B again, and you can get right out of that. Now, I'm going to take this car over to Bahia de Plano in Rivals mode. I like this track. It's got 3 turns that are really tough to work with. Turn number 2 is that first right-hander, or excuse me, that first hard left-hander. You see, it's slightly more obtuse than a 90, but it's right there. You got turn 1 to the right, turn 2 is that sharp one going up. You got turn 3, 4, and 5 is the chicane. Turn 6, it goes down and comes back like that. Turn 6 is really tough turn. There's walls around it, the outside, and then there is rocks and a telephone pole on the inside. So turn 6 is tough. 7 is back like that. Turn 8, then you got turn 9, and then turn 10 at the bottom. It's got that you go like, I believe it like goes downhill and then comes back up. It's super tough if you're, because when you come down you can slide out. I think there's a wall there too, and then you got turn 11's that last curve, and then you come back through the finish line. But turn number 2, turn number 6, and turn number 10 are really important here by the Bahia de Plano, and those are the ones we're going to tune for. Alright, so here we go. You never do any diagnosing on the first lap because your tires aren't cold. That's turn 1. This is turn 2. Turn 3. Turns 4 and 5. Turn 6. Turn 7, turn 8, turn 9, and then this is turn 10. That's turn 11, and we do it all again. Alright, there we go. So I've set some really good laps here. I think the car can definitely benefit from being able to take some of these turns little sharper like that turn right there. If we could get into that turn a little bit later or cut it a little bit sharper, we could probably carry a little more speed. Most of these turns don't require all that much turn in, but the ones that do, I think we could be able to benefit from by just adding a little bit more turn into this car. Transitional oversteer we want to add to this car to get it to turn in and come out of corners a little bit sharper than it is now. So we've run some really good, run a lot of laps, run some really good times for an untuned car, running a 54.5. That's really good. So let's stop there. It's 18 laps, and let's see if we can make this car faster by adjusting the damping, and we'll talk about all the damping settings and what we're going to do to them. So let's take a look at the damping settings. It says tuning your car's damping improves handling by increasing grip, stiffening front, damping adds grip at the rear. Damping controls the suspension rate, travel in 2 directions. Bump controls the rate of compression as the suspension goes up into the wheel wells. Increasing front bump damping stiffness increases understeer, but excessive bump damping can make the car skittish over rough surfaces. Decreasing front bump damping stiffness increases transitional oversteer. Rebound damping controls the rate of extension as the suspension rebounds away from the wheel wells. Adjusting front rebound damping fine-tunes your car's balance going into and out of corners. Increased front rebound damping stiffness increases understeer. Decreasing front rebound damping stiffness increases oversteer. You might try different damping stiffnesses front and rear. First, it says to set the overall damping stiffness and then set the bump ratio. The bump damping should be 50 to 75% as stiff as rebound damping so that the car will start to squat before rebound makes it stand up. Otherwise, the inside tire will lift off the road. Experiment by increasing bump stiffness to find the best damping ratio for your car. That's a lot to say, right? But the thing that is most important, because you can read that every time, the most important thing to note of that entire description is that it is wrong in the rear part. So the front description's perfectly accurate in both rebound and bump, but the rear, there's a typo. You can see here it says increase front bump damping stiffness increases transitional understeer. Decreasing front bump damping stiffness increases oversteer. Decrease front bump, increase oversteer. Right now, if you read this one here, it says decrease front bump increases understeer. It's the exact opposite because it's a typo. That's for the front. This one should be for the rear. It says decrease front bump. It should say decrease rear bump damping stiffness increases understeer, and that's on both of these rear ones. There's a typo for both of them. Obviously, it's copy and pasted. So the front is correct on both. Rear for the bump is incorrect on both. You need to remember that. So anyways, basically what you want, so this is the front of your car, this is the back of your car, front and rear. This is the bump, the rebound stiffness, and this is the bump stiffness. Rebound is suspension away from the car. Bump is the stiffness back up into the car. It's done with like a spring and some hydraulics. So basically, if you make the front softer than the back, you will have oversteer. If you make the front harder than the back, you will have understeer. That's all you need to know. And then you should be setting your bump stiffness to 50 to 75% of your rebound stiffness. Now, there is an exception. If you're off-road, you want your bump stiffness to be very soft, usually 1-in-1. And that's because, well, when you hit a curb or you hit a rock or whatever, your car doesn't bounce up. So if you're driving in car and you're finding that it's hard to see, or you are driving on if you're driving like in the city and you're hitting curbs, you may want to drop your bump stiffness down. It will slightly affect your lap times, but it's not so much that you shouldn't do it. For this tutorial, we're gonna do it the way they suggest you do it. We're gonna put everything back the way it was, and I just wanted to add some turn in, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna soften the rebound in the front and stiffen the rebound in the rear. So let's take let's call it 1.5 off the front. We'll go to, what's that, 12.1, 11.6, and we'll add 1.5 to the back, put it right at 11.9. And then we will go So you're supposed to use numbers that are between 50 and 75% for your rebound and bump. So we're actually going to use 50% of our front number, which is small, and then 75% of our rear number, which is the highest that we're allowed to use, because again, to get more turning, you want the ratio between the front and rear, softer in the front, stiffer in the back, that gets you more turning. So we're going to go 11.6 times 0.5, which is 5.8. And then we're going to go 11.9 times 0.75 to get the number in the back. 11.9 times 0.75 equals 8.925. We're going to 8.9 it. Okay, so that should give us a lot more transitional oversteer than we had to begin with, and it should make us get through these lap times a little bit faster because we're going to be turning a little bit better. And again, you never want to start diagnosing on the first lap because your tires are not heated up and they're not sticky. Your car is going to behave differently on the first lap than it will on the rest of the laps. So, and you can really see that in S2 cars. If you don't believe me, take an S2 car around a lap and then see how much better it handles on the second or third lap than it did on the first one. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. You can see that we ran a better lap time by 0.3 of a second with no other upgrades besides just changing the damping settings to make the car turn in a little better. So let's just recap all that information one final time and then we'll get out of here. Again, my name is Mike. You catch me on Twitch at Still an FAC and on YouTube at Not Fooling Around Crew. You can also join me at the Not Fooling Around Crew Discord server. There's a link to that in my bio. And the SNFA race team, it's up on your upper left hand corner right now. SNFA race team is always looking for new members and everyone is welcome regardless of your skill level. We do a team race every weekend and it's usually just a lot of fun. So, well, it's more fun than it is competition. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of good tuners and a lot of good people in the server. Shout out to everybody, all the beavers in the beaver dam. So let's go back to the damping settings. We'll cover it just one last time. So the rebound, let's see, rebound damping controls the rate of extension as the suspension rebounds away from the wheel wells. Adjusting front rebound damping fine-tunes your car's balance going into and out of corners. Now it says increase your front rebound damping and that will increase your understeer, make it turn less. And if you decrease your front rebound damping, you will make the car turn more. The rear rebound stiffness, adjusting rear rebound damping fine-tunes your car's handling going into and out of corners. It says increase rear rebound stiffness to increase oversteer, decrease rear rebound damping stiffness to increase understeer. And it says to set your bump stiffness to either between 50 and 75% of your rebound stiffness. Now, if you want to get less turning, you want to get understeer, use 75% of the front number, 50% of the rear number. And if you want to get more turning, use 50% of the front number, 75% of the rear number. And if you're off-road, you may want to just put them both down to 1. If you're going to hit curbs or you're going to try and hang your tires off in the dirt, you may want to put them both down at 1. My name is Mike. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'm out.